Oh, that's a good amount of power there. Welcome back to another Long Way Home episode, everyone. Today we are here with BMW's long-awaited 1300GS. Today is going to be a first contact day with the bike. What it's like, what is it like on the road? How does it feel differently than the 1250? Have they gotten it right? Have they gotten it wrong? Fun fact: the official press launch in Spain is in 2 days from today. I am going to that one. I can't wait to see what hear actually what the BMW engineers tell us about this bike. But in the meantime, we've got this one to play with for about a day and a half. So let's go. Service overdue. It's upset. It's in its running in period. That sounds like a boxer. They've brought back the bike leaning to one side when you're accelerating. It's not a lot, but I don't remember the 1250 still doing that. The R18 does it a lot. Doesn't bother me. But not in the least. I actually like it. It's a bit of character. That is fast. That quick shifter, that's great. All right, let's go. That is a lot faster than I remember the 1250 being. That's not just a few extra horsepower. It feels a lot snappier. It's getting really upset at me now, flashing if I'm going over 5,000 IC, because it's in its running period, and I think it's just hit 1,000 kilometers, because it's warning me there as well. So I'm not going to be putting a lot of kilometers on this one. Okay, that quick shifter is definitely not the same as on the 1250. If you didn't tell me this was a boxer, I would probably tell you it's a triple or a 4-cylinder, because quick shifter is very precise. It's really not the same as on the 1250, and definitely not the same as on my aging 1200. BMW did say they put in some sort of magnetic sensor in the gearbox that helps with this. Don't know how it works yet, but yeah, I didn't even feel that. Third to fourth. Let's try. First to second is always the most difficult one on a quick shifter. So we're in first, accelerating. A bit choppy. Second to third, no problem. Third to fourth, nothing. You don't even feel it. I mean, it's in a different league compared to the older models. Definitely. The engine as well, they've redone it completely. Put the cruise control on. My little thing has come off. On this side as well. That's fun. When you pull in the clutch, the cruise control doesn't disengage. You have to hold it maybe. Yes, you do. You have to hold it for a while. They have redone the whole engine. They put the gearbox at the bottom now. It's not behind the engine anymore. All of that for it to be more compact and save some weight, which they did. 12 kilograms. BMW states they've saved, which I'm always for that. Keep them light, keep them as light as possible, that's fine. But I wouldn't call it 12 kilograms, BMW, because you did take a liter of fuel away from me. That doesn't count as weight saving, you know. You can save another 19 kilos almost. I can give you a hint. Take all the fuel out, or leave 1 liter in, and then you'll have a very, very light bike. If you're not doing very long trips in places where there aren't a lot of petrol stations around, it shouldn't really be a problem. 19 liters instead of 20. But when I did ride the 1250 in South Africa, that had a 20-liter tank, and the places we were going to, it was very close sometimes, very, very, very close sometimes. So if you do trips that are longer in places where there aren't gas stations, then maybe wait for the adventure model. I'm sure that one's going to get a much bigger tank anyway. Jesus, that acceleration is fast. Oh, by the way, there's a broken odometer. BMW always puts broken odometers everywhere. That's not the real speed. This is all a simulation anyway. We're not in real life here, so don't look at the odometer, speedometer. It's a lot faster than I remember the 1250 being acceleration wise, and it's also definitely a lot faster than my 1200. The torque numbers as well, they are higher than on the 1250, which is weird because if you look in depth at the specs of the bike, they've gotten more capacity per cylinder, but the stroke is actually, I never thought I would speak about this, the stroke is actually smaller than on the 1250, and a smaller stroke with a larger bore theoretically means you're not going for torque, you're going for horsepower, but they've got more torque. So I don't know how that works. I'm sure BMW will tell us in Spain. Throttle control as well feels a lot more refined than on the than I remember on the 1250. I didn't have a problem with it there. I do have a problem with it on the 1200. It's not refined almost at all. Not as bad as the Tenere 700, looking at you Yamaha, but here, I mean, we're doing 3000, slowly putting gas on. There you go, children. When you start it up, it sounds like your standard boxer engine, but when you do accelerate, it's a bit of a different sound than on the 1250. It's not the exhaust, it's not the end can, it's the actual engine. There's a, I'm going to call it a specific mechanical whining noise, but it's not whining, it's more of a jet plane noise. It's not irritating whining. Yeah, so as far as powertrain, gearbox, I'm very happy with this. I mean, this is I think this is what this bike is going to be all about. The brand new refined powertrain and the weight loss. This is a standard stock screen. It is finally maybe some people didn't want it, but it is electronically adjustable on a GS. I don't know how I feel about that, because theoretically we should be taking these bikes off-road, and I certainly do with mine. I don't know how good this electric system is when it comes to vibrations and shocks and everything. Trying to find a place to stop so we can do a little walk around of the bike. This is as good a spot as any for a walk around. Perfect. Stand up straight. There we go. Let's take a look from the front. Is it still on? Yeah, DRLs are on. Alright, this whole brand new front design with the new headlight and a bunch of other pieces. This is a bit of design that I think you're either gonna love or you're gonna hate. And personally, I think it looks like a mix between a Boxer and an 850 GS. It doesn't look that mean anymore. I'm not a fan of the headlight. I know it's cheaper to manufacture than the old one, but I'm really not a fan of the design. Also, the implementation of the radar here, the front radar. This whole front, to me, I don't know, doesn't look good. Huge winglets over here in protection. They do their job. They just, I don't know, seem like an afterthought. So this whole front is really not for me. I do like the integrated LED signals, signal lights in the handlebars. It's gonna cost you a lot more if you drop it. The same goes for blind spot monitoring that's in these mirrors. If you drop it on the side, this mirror is gonna be a lot more than the standard ones. Tires that this one comes with seem to be Metzler Tourance Next 2. Cannot tell you anything about them, except for the fact that they are not that noisy, which is good. I've got the Brembo brakes with the BMW branding on the front, and the Brembo on the rear over there. The discs are a little bit larger than last year. You've got 310mm discs instead of 320. If you take a look underneath here, a lot of redesign has happened. The steering dampener is on the side now. It's not at the bottom here anymore. The hooter has been moved over here. Previously it was hanging on the side here somewhere. We've got the radar housing over here and the new Evo telelever configuration. This looks massive now, the engine, if you look at it, and I really do like this whole matte finish that they've gone with it instead of the old glossy one. I think it's going to get dirtier a lot less, and it's going to look better when it gets dirty. Here's your new oil level check. It's not the round hole anymore. It's now a little bar that goes up. BMW, here you go. This is where you put the crash guard for the engine bolts in. See, but there's no bolts because there's no crash guard. Should fix that. It looks like a GS. It looks like a GS because of the Boxer engine. This whole new chassis and subframe is a lot more I don't know, a lot more compact, a lot more packed now, and I really do like it. Look at the size of the foot pegs that the passenger gets. These are the optional 719s, and they are smaller than the ones that the passenger gets. The standard ones are even smaller than this, and I would have loved to see bigger ones or swapped around or something. Bye. Bash plate, a little bit bigger than I think was on the 1250, but this is still insufficient. I think it should have been a lot larger, especially if the GS is the off-road oriented version of the big GSs, and the Adventure will be the touring version. You can swivel forwards and backwards this little lever that you press on when you want to put it on the side stand, on the center stand. The side stand is also redesigned. I see it's also new. The Vario cases, the side cases will this one doesn't come with it. I would have loved to see them. You can hook them over here and here just like the old ones, but now there's this little knob which you can lose very easily, or somebody can come and take it from you, and this is where all the electronics come from for the cases. It's quite difficult to fall off by itself because it's quite rigid. The passenger seat now does something fun. That's how you adjust it. You don't have to take it off like you did the old ones. The battery is now underneath the seat over here. Let's actually take a look at that. And I can also show you the key, which now is also different. Now that's my key. Brand new redesigned BMW key, 2 buttons over here. But if you take a look, these are standard tags that the dealer uses, and they come with this little white, I don't know, paint, powder, whatever. Look on the other side of the key. It's full of white stuff, white paint that you're not really gonna be able to get off that easily. The battery now is a lot easier to get replaced. There you go. On the old keys it was much more of a hassle. There we go. Toolkit, standard toolkit. Let's put that here, and then this one just comes out without a key. Yeah, there's a wire for the heated seat. There's your lightweight battery. I have no idea what this is. It's connected to something. It's electric. What is it? Some sort of GPS maybe? I don't know. Could be for the SOS system, which this one doesn't have because we don't have SOS for bikes in Romania. Not set up for that. Okay, so that's what's underneath the seat. There's a little material protector here. It's got a very nice texture, and I really like it. Much better implementation than that old rubber one that always used to to fall off on the older models. I like the side look of it. I really don't like the front end look of it. This oversized number plate, I don't know. This is a temporary number plate. I don't know why they make them oversized now. Here's your radar for the blind spot monitoring. I see a little bit of a lip here that wasn't on the old model on this mud guard, and they've also added another little mud guard over here to not spray the suspension with mud. End can much smaller now. If you want to go for the double, a Krapovic one, I really like the way that one looks. Another €1,000 from you, but this one's much smaller. yeah, all in all, it's a much more compact bike. A few surprising additions to it. Summarize it in a couple of words, a couple of adjectives. It would be that it's a lot more refined than the previous version. That's it. A few things have changed on the instrument cluster as well. It looks kind of the same, but it's not. The start button is now here. All of them are keyless, so if you wanted one without a keyless system, sorry, can't get that. So the start button's over here now, just like on the R18s. And there's a new button on the left here, which is basically a shortcut button. Where this one allows you to set your shortcuts, and this one up and down is the actual shortcut button. Right now I've got it set to the windshield. It raises it up and down, but you've got a whole bunch of other different options. Let's not play with this while we're riding. Grip heating, seat heating, suspension settings, and your radar. So all of those you can set to this shortcut button over here. Apart from that, it's all the same. Unfortunately, it's not backlit, and let's talk a little bit about the elephant in the room. I've configured this one with what options I think it has on it on BMW's site. In Romania, all taxes included, list price, it's about 25,000 euros, which is a lot of money. So I'm going to be nitpicky whenever I do the full review of this bike about everything that I think should be included in that price. And number one, it's a boxer engine. I don't have any engine guards, BMW. I know I can buy them from you, but I think if I drop this, those cylinder covers are gonna break. I have seen it. 2023, we are still using the same dash as on the 2017 model. I think it was launched in. 6 years later, we still got the same one. I don't have complaints about it. It's one of the best ones out there, but still don't have any Apple CarPlay. Still cannot see my navigation over there. The one that's on the RT, I think, the 1250 RT, the bigger 10-inch one, brilliant, apart from the fact that you don't have CarPlay. I mean, there's plenty of space here. We're still going with the navigator. I see BMW did make a new one of theirs. I haven't checked it out yet, but this combo is getting kind of old now. There's a phone holder, phone cubby hole over here, which fits, I mean, it fits my my Pro Max iPhone without any problem, even with a case from Quadlock on it, which is very bulky. It's not wireless charging. There is a USB cable in there. I can't get my head around that. Speaking of 2023 and this whole combo, if I want to use my phone while riding my bike, use my phone, what I mean by that, not use my phone, but use Waze, for example, for long trips, or Google Maps, or whatever, I need to see it. You're not allowing me to put Waze on there because you don't want CarPlay, but I mean, my only solution right now, and this is what I'm using on my bike, is removing this, because I'm not going to use it, and mounting the quad lock over there, and that's it. I've got full access to my phone. I can see it. With the quad lock, it charges wirelessly as well. So I mean, there are a lot better solutions than what BMW is doing right now. And you know what, if it wasn't 25 grand, I would not mention it that much, but it is. So that's it. That's the elephant in the room. If you're not planning to go off-road with this, you can get optional, I think they're called forged aluminium wheels, cast aluminium. I'm not exactly sure. I'll put it on screen. Those are, if I remember correctly, about 2 kilograms lighter than the spoked ones, and we're talking about unsprung weight, which is going to make the bike feel a lot. It's going to make the bike feel livelier than if you had heavier wheels. All right, with the less weight, you've got a lighter battery on it now as well. With the 12 kilograms less weight, this really feels like a much smaller bike than it actually is, and I think most of that is because of something I've been saying forever. Why GSs feel that they are lighter is because of the Boxer engine. You've got all of that weight very, very low on the bike. The center of gravity is very low, so flicking it around, one hand even is, I don't know, it's a lot easier than it would be on a KTM or on a Multistrada. I found a highway, I found a highway. Whoops, train. That's a good... Okay, no trains are coming through here. That was just a joke. But it did give me a chance to test out the brakes. They are Brembo now. Apparently that whole BMW labeled ones on some of the 1250s with the ones that came from Hayes, that was because Brembo wanted, allegedly Brembo wanted their badge on the front of the caliper, and BMW said no, they wanted it. They had got in a big fight, but now they've come to an agreement. BMW puts their logo on the front of the caliper and Brembo on the back of the caliper. So we'll do another brake test later, but now I want to see what the wind protection is like. So the windshield is at max. It's really doing a good job at getting the wind from my helmet. I mean, maybe a little bit at the top here. Not the same can be said about my arms. I'm getting a lot of wind on my arms and on my shins. We've got these two huge wind deflectors here. They must be doing something because I'm not getting any wind around my sides. Let's try the adaptive cruise control finally. It's made its way to the GS. I feel very good about this one because I have ridden it with it in the past and I really like their implementation. 137, it's seeing the car in front. It's 133 because I have set the distance to comfortable. And if we try overtake, it accelerates immediately when I signal, even though it can still see the car in there. But now, let's see what happens. And it's braking. I'm not braking, I'm not touching anything. I'm just holding on to the handlebars. If we go onto this side again, it's accelerating to get to 137. The old trick to twist the throttle the other way around to disengage the cruise control still works. Blind spot monitoring as well. That's because there's now a radar on the rear. I have ridden with this around the city quite a bit, and I don't really see it. I mean, maybe you need to get used to it, something like that, but it doesn't pop into my peripheral vision that easily. Speaking of cruise control, I actually use it quite a lot, not on the highway because I don't really like riding on the highway. I think mostly on back roads when I need to stretch my arms or when I need to scratch something and I don't want to stop. And I think this new adaptive one is going to make my life a lot easier because now I don't have to worry about braking as well. And it brakes very gently. It's not a hard kind of braking where it's going to scare you a lot. See, like right now, I need to use this Velcro thing again. I don't have to worry about braking. There we go. 5-second use of cruise control. That's what I use it for. Oh, that's a good amount of power there.